Hey guys, welcome back to another video and another kill streak breakdown. This one is actually going to be different because it's not a hero this time. It's 42 kill streak that I got with the clone aerial on Geonosis. I actually think this was during the reinforcement weekend as well, because I saw that the enforcement was only 500 battle points. I'll start off by talking about the star cards I use for the aerial class. The first one being Battle Hardened, which gives you 20% extra health to give you a grand total of 240. The second card I use is Aerial Training, which is like the health on kill card for the aerial class, gives you 50 extra health I believe for every kill. And the third one is Survivalist, which just increases the amount of health you can regenerate every second. So on the first phase here, this left hand side is a really good spot for the aerial to sit. You just duck in and out of cover when you're taking damage. Always got to be aware of heroes, of course. And hopefully the teammates can push the objective, which they seem to be pushing it pretty well. There's always going to be a pesky BX commando droids. I actually think that this combination of map plus reinforcement is the best combo you could ask for in Battlefront 2. The open terrain is just so good for the jetpack, and their pistol is really good even at range. As you can see, I'm getting a few nice kills here. Had to be careful of this maul. As always with blaster wielding characters, you've always got to watch out for the saber heroes, but at least in the case of the aerial, you've got the jetpack to get away from them, as long as you can see them coming, of course. I was just hanging around this objective area trying to kill anybody in and around it so the teammates could help push up and we could move on to the next phase. This is when the aerial really shines, because their increased mobility is just amazing on this map. The biggest good piece of advice I like to have for the aerial is that as soon as you take damage, you want to be dodging and using your jetpack, especially if it's a case where you can't see the enemy that's shooting at you. I mean, that's the same for most characters, I guess, but if you're not confident that you can win that one-on-one gunfight, then you might as well duck to cover and just cut your losses and not worry about getting that particular kill. Excuse me. Now I have the huge advantage over this droidica because they have bugger all range on their blaster. As you can see, I managed to take them out quickly, but I've lost quite a bit of health here, so as soon as my jetpack is available, I'm flying away and getting to cover. And as you can see, that survivalist card really helps as it gets my health back super fast. We're just slowly moving around, checking off each area of the map a little bit at a time, making sure it's safe before we move forward with our team. I don't think I killed that officer, but someone else must have got him. A lot of enemies like to hide in and around these corners, so you've always got to be wary. Again, the turrets are looking at me, so I'm using my jetpack as soon as it becomes available when you're low on health. And these reinforcements are amazing for flanking. Actually had a bit of a curve on that rocket there, so it's actually got a small amount of lock on it, which I found quite surprising. But that's something to keep in mind, that you don't have to have the perfect aim, it seems, to be able to hit your target. Again, with this droidica here, I can pepper the shield because I know I've got the range advantage big time. I've got to be careful of Boba here, but you want to, again, like I've said previously, you take out the enemies that are looking at you first, because they are obviously a bigger threat than someone who's not looking at you. Just wanted to see if I could take out this Boba while he's weak. Didn't quite. Now I heard a guy around here. Easy kill because he's not looking at you. Again, using the dodges, using the jetpack as much as possible to keep yourself on the move. Take advantage of that mobility. I think this particular aerial is the best of all the aerial classes. Like, even with the new First Order Jet Trooper, which they are very, very good, I still think this is the best aerial class. And I have them as my third best reinforcement class in the game, behind the BX Commando Droid and the Sith Trooper. Again, we're just moving side to side by taking advantage of this jetpack. I know there's a guy here, I just gotta wait for my opportunity to see him. Boom, easy kill. Using the jetpack as much as possible. I know there are some people that like to use the improved jetpack cards, like it decreases the cooldown when you can have your left and right jetpacks available. But I think the aerial training card is a much more useful card. It's easier to get yourself out of a sticky situation if you really trust yourself and trust your aim, because the spread on the gun, on the pistol, is very minimal. So if you can trust your aim enough, then I find the aerial training card to be much more beneficial. I have a nice little sequence here where I get quite a few kills. It's all about being patient as always and making yourself unpredictable, like I've already told you guys a million times, but I'll keep reiterating it because it's probably the most important tip for being successful and getting a kill streak. Again, that other guy wasn't looking at me, whereas that guy was, so you got to take out the ones looking at you first. It's just basically learning about risk assessment, I guess, which one's the easier target to go after. I went really hard at this commando droid because I knew he was weak. And he was being particularly slippery. But I think I managed to get him eventually. Just took a bit of patience. Yeah, no, I still haven't got him. Managed to take out this other guy first, and eventually got him. There we go. So, in that situation, I normally wouldn't encourage you to be fixated on a single target like that, because you can lose your vision of everybody else around you. That can easily get you overrun and killed. So I got lucky in that situation that I did have the mobility to be able to do that, because if I got in trouble I can easily escape. But it's not something I recommend, especially for the blaster heroes, because their movement is nowhere near as good as saber heroes, of course. And I'm still going side to side and utilising the jetpack as much as possible. Now I'm low, so I've got to try and find a safe spot to cover. I saw this guy coming, luckily. Managed to get a couple of nice shots on him and get rid of him. But then I realised I'm being chased. It's always good to hide back towards where the ATT walkers are, because people aren't going to push that most of the time, because they can melt you in a heartbeat. And a lot of droids like to sit up on this left hand flank. So it's always an area I like to go to, regardless of what character I'm playing. And you've also got to be wary of those spider droids. Which I still wish they would change it so that you'd get points for destroying those spider droids, make it a bit more worth it. But if you have a bit of a free shot at taking one of them out, then always take advantage of it, because they will melt you quicker than a gunship does. So, yeah, and I'm still swapping sides, constantly scanning, checking the minimap as much as I can. And this is what makes them so great on this map, is just the mobility. And you can just flank up on an enemy and take them out before they even know what's hit them. Now there's an annoying Palps that's having a bit of a go, but luckily we got a stun on him and managed to get him. Palpatine is a big threat because he can easily get a hit on you and then hit you with the chain lightning before you've actually managed to jetpack away, like I did then. So Palpatine is probably the hero I'd watch out for the most. And this is where that aerial training card comes in real handy, because without it I might have died in that situation, and I could keep my kill streak going. And that's why I recommend it over the improved jetpack cards. Because you'll notice a lot throughout most of this gameplay that I'm constantly swapping between which jetpack I use, if I use the left one or the right one. So there's almost hardly ever a stage where I don't have at least one of the two jetpacks close to being ready and off cooldown. That way you can keep yourself on the move as long as possible. So there, I'll use the left one and then I'll use the right one in a sec. Oh no, maybe not. No, that's okay. But always having those two jetpacks available as much as you can will go a long way to being successful with this trooper. I was very happy with the streak so far, because this is my best with any reinforcement. I was really hoping we'd keep them away and I could push 50. But as you'll see in a sec, I do exactly the mistake I said not to do, which is to fixate on a single target. And that's what ends up getting me killed, this single guy here. I completely ignored everything else around me. I was just going for this one single guy and then didn't take advantage of my cooldowns and I was dead. So that'll do for another video. Hope you guys took something from this to apply to your gameplay with the clone aerial, but also your gameplay in general on Geonosis, as it's quite a large open map that people tend to normally struggle with. And with that out the way, I will get out of here. So make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new, do all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.